Race votes are still being counted across the nation in key battleground states that will decide which candidate secures the presidency. Good evening, I'm Laura Moritz.
And I'm Chris Katz. The president is still challenging election results that have him behind Democrat Joe Biden.
KMBC 9's Bree Jackson begins our team coverage tonight from Washington.
Chris, Laura, with his path to re-election narrowing, President Trump used his remarks to claim victory in states that are still undecided and to lash out about the whole vote counting process. During Thursday's news conference, President Trump attempted to cast doubt on election results, suggesting, without evidence, that there are a number of illegal votes from mail-in ballots and claiming Democrats were trying to steal the election. Now this comes as the Trump campaign launched a flurry of legal challenges in must-win states, including Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Georgia. Judges in Georgia and Michigan quickly dismissed the lawsuits there, but the Trump campaign picked up a legal victory in Pennsylvania. A court granted the campaign's request for better access for the campaign observers, a decision that will not impact the counting process.
We want an honest election, we want an honest count, and we want honest people working back there because it's a very important job. So that's the way this country is going to win.
It's important to note that many of the votes being counted last are those mail-in ballots, which take longer to process. The Trump campaign has also requested a recount in Wisconsin, a state that Joe Biden won by nearly 20,000 votes. In Washington, I'm Bree Jackson, KMBC 9 News.
Today, Joe Biden offered reassurances the counting could be trusted while urging patience from Americans.
KMBC 9's Sally Kidd is in Wilmington, Delaware tonight with the Biden campaign.
Chris, Laura, Joe Biden spent the evening at home with his family watching the returns come in. We did hear from him late this afternoon, and he expressed confidence about where things stand and encouraged supporters to be patient.
In America, the vote is sacred. It's how people of this nation express their will. And it is the will of the voters, no one, not anything else, that chooses the President of the United States of America.
Earlier, he and running mate Kamala Harris received briefings on coronavirus and the economy. And right now, the campaign is keeping an eye on the remaining handful of states where the race is still too close to call. The contest in Georgia has tightened even more throughout the day. A win in Georgia would be huge for Biden in that it is a reliably red state that became a surprising swing state this year. But Biden is also moving closer in Pennsylvania, and we heard from his campaign that they believe the Keystone State is the one that will carry him to victory once the votes are counted. This as the counting continues in Arizona and Nevada as well. And back here at the Chase Center in Wilmington on this stage behind me, they've been testing the big monitors and the microphones, doing a dress rehearsal to get ready for Joe Biden's speech here when this race is finally called. Reporting from Wilmington, Sally Kidd, KMBC 9 News.
More now on that Amber Alert out of Lee Summit. Police say a suspect stole an SUV with a 1-year-old in the back seat. This happened about 7 o'clock at the 7-Eleven off to Southwest Oldham Parkway and Ward Road. About an hour later, police found the SUV abandoned with the child safely inside. They are still looking for the suspect. Tonight, 2 local House races are extremely tight.
In Johnson County, Kansas, the race in House District 16 is separated by a single vote out of more than 14,000 votes cast. Republican Rashard Young is now in the lead. This district covering parts of Lenexa and Overland Park, east of I-35. And in Jackson County, Democrat Robert Sauls is up by just 25 votes. In Missouri House District 21, that's Eastern Independence along 291 north of I-70. Over 15,000 votes were cast here.
Officials say results are never final until 2 weeks after the election, when all mail-in, provisional, and overseas military ballots are counted.
KMBC 9's Brian Johnson reports on the security measures to keep the process of counting ballots secure.
Mail-in ballots that were due Tuesday in Jackson County just got counted today.
There's definitely lots of work that goes on at the election board after the election is over.
Everything happens with sworn, under oath, bipartisan election officials. Counting or not counting any ballot is done with no knowledge of how someone cast their vote inside the secrecy envelope.
We look and make sure that the signature is there and that the notary is there, and only then do we open the envelopes and put the ballots in the pile to be counted.
In Johnson County, it's the same. The room to count ballots is like a bank vault. It requires 2 different keys just to get access inside.
They can't take their purses in there. They can take no ink pens in there. We allow some drinks in there, and that stays on a little table.
It's all done under video surveillance.
So we have a record to know that every ballot that came in was counted.
Similar processes happen all over the country. Before results are official, they triple check that the balance matches up perfectly.
Making sure that for the ballots that we ordered, the ballots that were voted, and the ballots we have left over, that all of those numbers balance.
They've had decades of experience. Only the courts can change the election process.
We all really ought to be proud as Americans that we have such an institution.
Brian Johnson, KMBC 9 News.
All military and overseas ballots are due tomorrow. Then next week, provisional ballots will be counted. Johnson County, Kansas has 13,000 ballots to count, with final results due 1 week from tomorrow. In Jackson County, final results will be certified November 16th.
Missouri Senator Roy Blunt disagrees with the president's effort to stop counting votes. In an interview with KMBC 9 News, Blunt says every vote that was cast legally should be counted. Blunt is a former Missouri Secretary of State and served in the office for 8 years. He says the president's campaign's call to assure all the votes are legal is fine.
But every ballot that was legally counted, legally cast, should be counted. That's what's going to happen, I'm confident, before this is over.
Blunt is part of the Republican leadership in the Senate. It is rare for the Senate leaders to disagree with the president. We'll be keeping presidential results updated overnight on the KMBC 9 News app and at KMBC.com.